More streaming power? Why do I want to leave studio? I never said I want to leave studio.
Well, we're going to have to cut that.
We might be recording, but I do kind of want to go through and check this.
It said we were recording. The little timer's going.
Okay, so this is live.
Yeah.
So we should be good.
All right.
Cool. Hopefully no one catches the first 30 seconds of this.
Professionalism.
We're getting there. I didn't even pull up the ads, but we'll get to them anyway. All right, let's get started. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 127 of the Blues Fan Forum podcast, your source for blues news, views, and fan interviews, presented by Scooters Coffee. And I don't have a new ad read for Scooters Coffee, but if you guys listened last season, you know to go get your Scooters Coffee. It is pretty much pumpkin spice latte season, so I'm sure that they have those. I actually saw an ad for Starbucks who had pumpkin spice latte. They say they're the original.
Who's Starbucks?
Like, yeah, never heard of them.
I only go to Scooters.
Scooters is better because it's quicker, and I know what a large is. I don't have to order a venti or whatever those
I have to be
stupid words are.
I'm already bad at English. I don't need to look terrible in 2 or 3 other languages.
You get judged by attractive females who are all getting their pumpkin spice lattes. All right. This is our season 4 kickoff. Crazy that I've done this 4 seasons now, and you've been a part of it for all of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I think episode 24 was my first one.
Was your original?
Yeah, that was the first one.
And I think it's one of the most listened to episodes, except for, I think episode 1 actually has the most official listens, but your 24 is
so you started hot and it's
been downhill from there
ever since. That's tough.
Yeah, we peaked at the start. That's the best we've been able to do.
You never want to peak early.
Right. All right, so it is season 4, episode 127 in total. Seth is back with us as our featured guest because he's been here all the time, so you might as well just come and
Makes
join
sense.
Again.
Kick off the new season. And if I might add, it is my birthday today. So it made sense for me to come on, I thought.
It is Seth's birthday. I got him a birthday present of scratch-offs, which if it's anything like me, whenever I buy scratch-offs for myself, I really got him nothing, essentially.
You got me like 30 seconds of entertainment playing a little game.
There you go.
And then get mad when I don't, match my winning numbers or something. Yeah.
But it's okay because I did buy him a Bic Blues lighter. So just in case. So
that's always good to have.
I at least spent $3 on you.
I appreciate you.
All right. We have a fun-filled episode, but just to kind of go over everything since we've been gone for now a month. I did mention Scooters is back with us for season 4. Hughes Custom Design is also going to be continuing their sponsorship with us. So thank you, Hughes, and thank you, Scooters. We also have All American Sportswear or All American Hat Company. They're kind of 2 companies in one roof. One focuses on shirts, the other focuses on hats, but they pretty much do the same thing. They'll be joining officially this season. I need to get off of Facebook because I can see myself like twice. Let's go back to here. Go back to the live.
It was like watching an echo, which was strange. Yeah.
So yeah, we have those 3 companies. We are still on the lookout for more sponsors. If anyone wants to join, if you guys have a business of any sorts, and it's I've posted it before, but I think the cheapest is like $35 a month for get your name on our stuff and yeah, so I think it's a pretty cheap sponsorship deal, and pretty much any money that we get, like I don't make money in this, so any money I get goes to either sponsoring posts on Facebook or buying tickets so that way I can give them away, buying things on Facebook Marketplace so that way I can give them away, whatever it is. So any money that I get in here goes just right back to the podcast and try to increase viewership. So we have that. We are also still part of Interstate 70 Sports Media, so they are growing and growing with more podcasts, more writers, getting more influential in the St. Louis sports media world. So make sure you guys check them out. And then I guess that's it. I think that's everything. There's a lot of stuff, but yeah.
There's a lot to go over when you take a layoff like that.
Yeah, right. And I'm just doing it off the top of my head because I didn't write any of this down. be on the lookout for watch parties again this season. We will probably spend most of our time at Timeout in Troy, just because during the playoffs that we had that place partying, and it was a really good time, and it's a lot closer to my place. So if you're in Missouri, sorry, we'll try to get one in Missouri, but we're in Illinois, so we're going to party in Illinois. All right, let's talk hockey. Little recap of the off season, because it has been about a month since we've recorded. The only new thing that's happened since our last recording is the Milan Lucic professional tryout opportunity. What were your thoughts when you saw that come through the news ring?
I mean, we need somebody to take that Radic Foxa spot, I guess, maybe. And why not? I mean, it's a pretty low risk move to bring him in and see if he's got anything left. It's a name that, like, it gets your attention when you see it, and then you kind of have to, like, remember that it's not Milan Lucic from 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you, like, get this initial burst of excitement, and then you're like, oh, well, you know, maybe he'll be our fourth line center or something, you know.
It's going to be just like another, like, God, I'm drawing. Oh, Martin Brodeur, like just saying he was on the Blues.
Blues legend, Blues
right?
legend, Martin Brodeur. I took him in our Blues player draft,
Right.
however many couple seasons ago when we did that. He, like, what did he play? 3 games for the Blues or something like
I
that?
want to say it was like 7.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was Wayne Gretzky's regular season. Wasn't his regular season like 7, or was it 14 maybe?
No, I thought we had him for a little longer than that. You might be right, though,
Okay.
now that I'm thinking
I thought he
about
only
it.
played a few regular season
was
games
not
and
many.
went right into the playoffs.
I don't know that he played 50 total games, playoffs included, as a Blue. But yeah, no, we were talking before we started recording, like, that's got to be a bit of a, like, shot to your ego, maybe a little bit. If, you know, you've been a guy like Lucic who's, you know, really good in his prime, and now you're having to do a professional tryout, you know, I guess you just love playing.
Right.
So,
Like, could not get a contract from anyone. But I believe he's been out of hockey for a year or two. Have you read anything?
I haven't.
Okay. So I read it like when it first comes out, and it just kind of popped back in my head because I did not research that before this. But I'm pretty sure he's been out of hockey for a year or two in like some player assistance program. I should probably look that up so I'm not just talking shit on the guy and he's actually a really good dude. But
and when you get older like that, sometimes maybe a year or 2 off just to let, even if you're not injured, that would keep you from playing, just letting your body recoup for a year or 2, you know what I mean? And you can come back strong. So yeah, maybe we'll have found a little hidden gem there.
that would be nice. Let me see if it's going to give me information about this. Not really. I should have looked it up before.
It's all right. I mean, the chances of him making the roster are probably relatively slim anyway, but
Right. And we were talking before that this professional tryout, he could be doing it fully knowing that he's not going to make the Blues roster, because if you looked at, even before this PTO signing, you look at that roster and you're like, all right, it's pretty much set.
Yeah.
We even like
Yep.
are kind of like, if Dvorsky's ready, where is he going to play?
Right.
So
somebody's coming out.
yeah. So what do we do with Lucic?
Sonny.
And so where would Lucic even fit in? And so maybe he's just doing this just to get eyes on him so he could sign with somebody else.
Right.
If he that wants to play that
It's
bad.
like a good karma move almost for our franchise. Just give the guy a little exposure and a shot, you know. Probably gives your organization a good rep with the players a little bit when you do stuff like that for guys, you know.
Well, we do have one of the best alumni associations. So now I guess since he's got a PTO, he can join our alumni association.
Is that how that? Like,
I have no idea.
wow,
but-
those are some real loose standards.
All right. Besides that, everything else in the offseason that's happened, we have covered. But it was, the Zachary Bolduc trade for Logan Mailloux, the signing of Nick Bukestad, the signing of Pia Suter, and then a couple re-signings here and there. I think the biggest one being Joel Hofer. But that's pretty much it. The roster's been set for a while.
I did not know that Pius Suter. I mean, there are so many Suters in hockey. It's unbelievable. I had no idea there was a Pius. I had no idea about that when we signed him. So, for what we're gonna do today, I definitely, had to try and Google some player profiles and scouting reports because I did not know much about the guy.
Get some help from the internet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legacy name, I guess, for sure. I don't know if he comes from that Suter family, but
He's also wearing 22, which isn't that what Ryan Suter wore? Or was he 20? I'm pretty
22 was that Shat? That's Shat Deuce's numbers.
But I think Ryan Suter was wearing that last year.
Was he? I thought Ryan Suter was a single digit number. Maybe I'm wrong. I should be better about remembering their numbers, but I never do. There you go.
22.
You got it.
Nailed it. So you can still wear your 22 Suter jersey.
Yeah,
Well,
it works.
it's not going to match the new jerseys, but it still fits.
Whatever. I mean,
It
that's
still
fine.
works. All right. I'm sure this is going to take a while, so let's dive into it. Last time Seth came on, we decided to have some fun. Was it the preseason last time too?
Yeah.
So we decided to have some fun and compare every player that we could think of or that was on the Blues roster to a type of beer. And we had some good ones. I think we had some that were kind of like just the right ideas, but different beers. And then we had a couple that we just nailed it exactly with Nathan Walker.
Yeah.
Like that was the easy one. We went with it
It felt
Australian
almost
beer.
too obvious, but
Yeah.
you had to go with Foster's for that. I did get some feedback from some people that listened to that podcast, and I believe the one guy said, next time you do that, bring somebody on that knows beer. I said, well, it's also a hockey podcast, and we don't claim to know anything about that either.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, if you wanted expert beer opinions, this was not the place. to come.
Interestingly enough, because I don't think Dakota joined us for that one, and I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but Dakota is still here as a co-host. He had a fantasy football draft tonight, so there's a chance he makes it later, but he might still be with family doing his fantasy
Priorities.
football draft, which is exactly where we would be too.
100%.
But Dakota actually, before joining the Blues Fan Forum podcast, ran his own podcast called Beer Buzz, where he interviewed different microbrewery owners and got to know them. So he would
was
be our
probably the guy that should have
he's
been
the
on
guy
that
we needed.
podcast. Yeah.
So, all right. So this year we are going to go through, and we've decided to compare St. Louis Blues players currently on the roster to movie and TV show characters. I guess my idea, or the way I went through it, is I kind of thought about the Blues player's personality from what I know. Some of like their skill, like whether they're a skilled player, a fast player, a bruiser, an enforcer, whatever it is. And then just kind of the quirks that they have on the ice. I tried to like put all of those things into who is this person going to be. This one was also significantly harder than the beer one.
It was. It actually was. I didn't think it would be, but it really was.
I actually had a really hard time of not picking like just all Star Wars characters because that's
Mine was superheroes. I kept
Superheroes.
wanting to come up with and I was like, this just looks like an Avengers movie.
Right.
I can't have them all be that.
And so I think I have plenty of Star Wars. I had to try to get rid of some. I have plenty of superheroes too, but I did try to
tried to
mix it up. As
Do
best
no
I
more
could.
than like two
Yeah.
from one kind of, of the same thing. But it's hard for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, so let's just get into it and see what stupid shit we came up with. 'Cause
Okay.
that's exactly.
I'm excited.
probably what
I'm
it is.
excited. Just like the beer one, there's some of these that I'm just like, I feel way better about than other ones. You know what I mean? Some of them I'm really excited, and some are like, kind of, maybe that was a stretch. But
Yeah.
whatever, like, it's like, I don't even know how many people is it that we did here, counting Lucic. 23. That's a lot.
That's
okay,
a lot
that's
of
a lot,
people.
folks. You're gonna have some you love more than others.
And I don't watch a lot of movies and TV shows. Like in my free time, I'm playing video games for the most part.
See,
So-
I do watch a lot, which was part of my problem, because I was like, I can't go like so super obscure that no one knows
Right.
what you're talking about. But then, like I said, you don't want to just be the Marvel and DC superheroes.
Right.
Too, so you got to try to thread the needle a little bit.
I don't like this. So we are on a new setup here for this episode. We're back on Riverside. We were on Riverside for probably 110 to 15 episodes, and then we switched to StreamYard. And I actually like StreamYard. Now we're back on Riverside, and Riverside doesn't tell me if there's comments posted or not. But I don't think we have any. Oh, look. Wilkie says belated.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna come up with something here. We're mixing things up,
Oh, interesting. You're like a magician.
but I need to. Can I turn the sound off on this because it's coming through here? All right, I think
There
we
we
got
go.
it. Now I can see comments. We're mixing it up.
We're
as we
learning
go.
on the fly here, folks.
Right. All right. Where do you want to start with this?
I don't know. I mean, like, are you trying? Should we go alphabetically, or do you want to go by position or lines?
I don't care. Well, who do you have up top?
I have Jimmy Snuggerud up top.
All right, let's go with that. Go with Jimmy Snuggerud. You want to start it?
Sure. So Snuggerud, he's been when did we draft him? A couple of years ago, right? He's kind of been around. Everybody's been looking at him like a lot of potential. Let's see what this kid's got. And so I was trying to think about characters that kind of laid under the radar for a little bit. Like, people had their eye on him, little potential, but weren't necessarily looked at to be the top guy. And I think this guy with a strong season, I think it's very possible that we look up at the end of the year and Jimmy Snuggerud is actually our best player now and not Robert Thomas anymore. So I picked Michael Corleone from The Godfather to be Jimmy Snuggerud because I think he might all of a sudden, the beginning of the movie, you think, oh, there's some potential here. This could be fun. Let's see what happens. And then you look up at the end of the movie and you're like, this guy is a stone cold boss. He is our leader. He is our guy. So that's why I went with Michael Corleone.
That'll work. That's a solid one. I'm gonna just come out of the gate with our Star Wars references already.
Sure.
So I went with kind of the same idea. Is this guy is maybe starts off slow or kind of under the radar, but eventually is the hero of the movie, and maybe even the hero of the franchise. And so I went with Luke Skywalker
Nice.
as Jimmy Snuggerud. So hopefully, Anakin Skywalker was supposed to bring balance to the Force, but Luke was the one who could do it.
I think we kind of had similar themes there.
Yeah.
Just like start out young, quiet, unassuming, and then you look up by the end of the movie and you're like, wow, this guy is a force to be reckoned with. The chosen one.
Yeah. All right, we need that from him. Who's next on your list?
So the next one is, well, why don't you tell me, or it doesn't matter. Yeah.
We'll just go down your list.
Okay. So next one on my list is Robert Thomas. And, Rob Tom's our best player. I don't think anybody would doubt that. Just incredibly creative, leader on the ice, just so good at setting people up. And I think he will be the one that ultimately saves the world and this franchise. So I went with Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, as Robert Thomas.
Okay, that'll work. All right, I went a little. I mean, superhero is probably an easy one. Like you could have said, like Superman or any stud superhero for Robert Thomas. But I went a little. I mean, he's a pass first kind of guy, but he's sneaky on his shot. Like his shot is improving. So I said, his skills are sneaky, but I think the best thing about Robert Thomas is no matter who he plays with, those people get better. Like when he's got Jimmy Snuggerud on his line, whoever it is, the people around him are better. And that was kind of a Jim Halpert from The Office. He's the guy in the office building that as long as Jim's there, we're all gonna do a good job.
He's just gonna raise the level of everyone around him.
Yep.
For sure. I like it. I like Jim Halpert. I didn't even think about that for Robert Thomas, but I do kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Tony Stark worked, man. Tony's always coming up with gadgets for everybody else and suits for everybody else, you know,
Yep.
and like again, kind of raising that level
Yep.
of everybody around him. So
All right.
next
Two
on
down.
next on my list is Pavel Buchnevich. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
All right. This one I think is more. The reason I chose this is more like his face and the way that sometimes he's kind of a goofy character. Pavel Buchnevich is, and he does like the interviews sometimes, which can kind of be pretty goofy. But also like I've never met the guy, but I feel like if I did, I'd kind of be scared of him. So I actually went with Dexter because I think there's a chance that he kills people on the side. There's a possibility that that's there.
Nice. Okay. My character also is a murderer, a multiple time murderer for sure. Maybe not the greatest dude ever. The character I chose is just super cool under pressure. He's got kind of this intense stare, and he doesn't really talk a whole lot. He kind of speaks with his actions, not like his words, and he'll scare you. It'll kind of put that fear in you. And so I went with Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Have you ever seen
I've not
that?
seen Peaky Blinders.
Have you heard of that
I've
show?
heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that show.
Okay.
Really good show. He plays this gangster in like the 30s and 40s in London or the UK or over there. And oh yeah, great show. He's like the leader of a gang called the Peaky Blinders. And their whole one of their shticks is they wear those like newspaper boy hats. You know what I'm talking about?
Like they're like boat
It's
shaped?
like no, it's like sort of got a bill, but like the rest of the hat kind of comes down on top of the bill too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Anyway, they hide razor blades in their hats, and they will slice you up if you piss them off. So I think that's Buchnevich for sure.
All right. Is there a little Russian stereotype in there for us to both pick murderers?
I definitely thought of some Russian guys, but just I don't know. I just didn't want to do it. It felt more fun to go with Tommy Shelby for sure.
Right.
I didn't want to do like, who's that dude in that Thunderbolts movie, Red Guardian or something?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
Red
Like I
Guardian.
was like, that guy's Russian, but that feels like forcing it. Just
Yeah,
the
that
Russian
might be
angle.
too easy.
Yeah.
Wilkie does comment and says Buchnevich has the weakest handshake I think I've ever received.
Wow,
So,
brutal.
I guess if he's gonna kill anyone, he's gonna have to use tools. He's not gonna be able to use his hands, according to Wilkie.
How does he hold the stick with that limp wrist? It's
Like-
unbelievable. Yeah. Maybe he's like a germaphobe and he just thought you look dirty.
Yeah,
Loki.
it's like-
I don't know.
If Wilkie came from work, he probably did look dirty. So
Yeah, could
that
be.
fits.
All right, so next on my list is Dylan Holloway.
All right, is it me or you?
I'll go on this one.
All right.
So I think Dylan Holloway is our new young hotshot. Honestly, I kind of had Michael Corleone on him for a little while, and I switched it up. But you know, Holloway is just this young hotshot player. He looked so good last year before he got hurt, and he's got all the tools and gifts to be dominant if he can put it all together. So I went with Maverick from Top Gun
Oh,
for
okay.
Dylan Holloway.
That's a good one. Great movies too.
Yeah.
The
The original Top Gun when Maverick's young,
Yeah.
not old Top Gun from Top Gun Maverick. That's confusing.
I went with kind of a unsung hero kind of thing where not necessarily the main character of the show, but everyone ended up loving him in the movie or in the show, however many seasons this one has had. And this character in their show also had a love interest that they thought might have been fake at the time. So like an online love interest. Turns out it was a real person, and they had a great duet singing some song that stopped the crazy things in Stranger Things. So
I was so confused where you were going with this.
so I went with Dustin, the guy with the kind of the from Stranger Things.
Oh wow!
as the not the main character, but just a really great side character
Right.
that I think people enjoyed him more than like the main character.
Oh yeah, I
sometimes.
think. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
He was. I forget even what that main character's name anymore.
Exactly.
It's so
But-
long since I watched those seasons. But yeah, no, that's kind of what. There's that famous line in Top Gun where he's like, "You could be my wingman anytime," and I was like, "That's Dylan Holloway. You could be my wingman anytime, anytime."
All right.
All right. So next on my list is Braden Shen. I'll let you go with this one.
Braden Shen. So Braden Shen, fearless leader of the St. Louis Blues. People question his leadership, but at least I think they question more his verbal leadership in the locker room. I don't think anyone questions his leadership on the ice. Like if
Yeah.
something happens, he's gonna go fight. He's gonna go do whatever it is. And so that was a Maximus from Gladiator for me.
Okay, nice. I get it. I have him for a different player.
Oh, okay.
And that was definitely one of those ones too that I thought about passing it out to a lot of people. So, but I get it. I totally get the Maximus. Yeah, for sure. I went for this is probably the oldest movie, or maybe the second oldest movie that I have on here.
Well, you are old now. 'cause
I
you're
am.
40,
I am
so
40
that makes
now.
sense that
I
you have
am
old
40
movies.
now. But honestly, looking better than I did at 30. I think. So I don't know. I guess it's good to be a dude.
Well,
You just age better, maybe.
We'll let Wilkie and Sam judge that if they think Seth. looks
Whatever.
good
I'm
now.
not gonna listen to Wilkie at all. He's not my target demo anyway. So I picked the character in this movie. It's from the Lethal Weapon movies, and he's kind of famous. His kind of catchphrase in that movie is, "I'm too old for this shit." So I went with Roger Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon because Braden Shen might just be too old for this shit. But in the end, Murtaugh comes through when you need him. He kills the bad guy when you need him to. So he's still reliable. He's going to be a little creaky and he's going to complain a little bit because the guy, he's getting up there. But we can still count on him.
I had him in, like, as I was researching people, he popped up a couple times.
Roger Murtaugh?
But I've never seen that. So
Oh,
I'm
dude,
like,
they're good movies, for sure.
I couldn't put him down. I was
the
like, I got to
whole
be able to talk
buddy
about
cop dynamic thing. They're pretty good.
it. Peter Quill says, Wilkie, that's Star-Lord.
Yeah, see, again, they
know.
can't all just be...
We have too many superheroes
Yeah,
already
for
in
real.
our...
yeah, exactly. And I have
more
on here.
Yeah,
for
I have
sure.
superheroes coming.
Next player on my list is Jordan Kyrou. And so for this one, I was trying to think about a guy that balances both the high highs and low lows that Jordan Kyrou can bring at any moment, right? So I went with Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars because he could be the chosen one. Obi-Wan thought he was the chosen one, but he let himself slip into the dark side and it destroyed us. And that's exactly what can happen with Jordan Kyrou's play. He can look like the chosen one and look like the best player on the team. But man, there's that little dark side that creeps in once in a while, and it can really kill us when that happens, when he goes there.
That's a good one. We need to keep Jordan Skywalker on
Yeah,
the
we
on
need
the good side
Anakin
here.
Skywalker, not Darth Vader.
Yeah,
We need him
right.
stay away from, come to the light, Jordan Kyrou. Stay in the light.
I went with a person who, in their movie, kind of at the beginning, he was a little arrogant, thought he was the best of the best, and no one could beat him. And I think Jordan Kyrou, I think that's gone from Jordan Kyrou now, but a year or two ago, I think he kind of
Yeah.
had that in him.
You have seen him evolve.
Yeah. And so I think he needed to be humbled a little bit, and that's what happened to this person in Radiator Springs. So I went with Lightning McQueen before Jordan Kyrou.
That's a great
The
one.
speed aspect is also there
Yes,
as well.
absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that's a great one. You know, I almost had the Flash for Kyrou. 'cause
Did
of
you?
the
Yeah,
speed
see?
thing. But again, the superhero thing, I was like, there's too much of this
Right.
on here. I gotta. That's good. Lightning McQueen is awesome. I didn't even really think too much about animated movies. That might have been
Animated car movies.
Yeah, that might have been. That was my oldest son's favorite movie back in the day when he was a kid. God, I must have watched that movie 200 times. So, okay.
Let's pause because we do have some comments on here. Sam was saying Shen could be a Thor. I could see God of Thunder. Just thunder kind of makes me think of fighting. So
Yeah, I don't think for that. You got it.
I almost went Thor for Sunquist just because of the hair.
Oh,
like,
really?
I wanted to do that. But,
Yeah.
Mike says Kairu is Paul Pfeiffer from Wonder Years. Nerding looking kid that grows up. I've not seen Wonder Years.
I was like a kid when that came out, so I know what he's talking
Okay.
about, but I don't have like a huge reference.
You're
for that.
showing your age, Mike.
But I mean, that's good. We need to crowdsource this from
Yeah, right.
all eras. Again, you're younger than I am even, and still all we can think of is Star Wars and superhero
Right.
shit. So it's good that other people have
Yeah.
other ideas.
All right, who do you got next?
Next, I have Jake Neighbors, and I'll go ahead and go first on this one. This is who I had for Maximus Decimus
Okay.
Meridius Gladiator. He's tough, honorable warrior. He's always down low, steadfast in the trenches, and I think he displays a lot of leadership too. Just the way he plays, leading by example, and yeah. So that's why I went with Maximus for Jake Neighbors.
All right. I went with, just a hard-working kind of underdog. Jake Neighbors, I mean, was a first-round pick, but he really didn't get a lot of love until he made the team, and then we were like, oh, this guy's good. Like, I don't remember talking about Jake Neighbors like we do Dvorsky and Stuggerud and
He would always be like the 5th or 6th guy listed on like our, most exciting prospects kind of thing.
And he's still only 22 years old, 23 years old, and we're thinking about knocking him down to the third line already. So still kind of an underdog in where he's at. And so I went with Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
So,
I can see that.
no. So yeah.
Have you seen that movie lately? Or ever?
Like,
Rocky?
no, I haven't.
Ever? Not, I wonder.
Don't want
Dude, I mean, everybody knows who Rocky
Right.
is. I just wondered if you'd seen the movie.
I used to play the Rocky music when kids would turn in homework when I was doing my student teaching because I had like 7 kids in the class and none of them were good at turning homework in. So I always made it like exciting when they turned it in.
Yeah.
They're like, Mr. Steve, can I turn my homework in? I'm like, wait. And I played the music. And then they
Jock James.
yeah.
No, that's a good idea for sure. No, Rocky is that movie just hasn't aged well. It looks and seems old, and I can't believe that Sylvester Stallone became such a big movie star. When you don't understand a single word that he says, he just mumbles everything he says, and it's unreal that he does not enunciate. So the next person I had on my list is it Pius or Pius Suter?
Yes, it's one of those.
It is one of those. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. So kind of like I said in the beginning, I didn't know anything about this guy. So I, had to look into him, some scouting reports and stuff. I guess he's a really highly intelligent, prepared guy, really adaptable across a lot of roles, works really hard. So when I was kind of thinking about all of those different things, especially the like always prepared, highly intelligent, I picked Hermione Granger from Harry Potter because she's always there with the problem they need. I honestly think she was probably chosen one, not Harry. Honestly, she really outshines him a lot in those movies.
That's because she's just smarter, I think.
She is 100% smarter and more capable.
Yeah.
Less I don't know, emotionally volatile. He's always whining about something.
So I did not pick Hermione Granger, but I did pick somebody from Harry Potter.
For real?
Yeah,
Nice.
so this
Nice.
is our first close one. But my thoughts on Pius Suter, you did more research than me. I was just like, I really don't know him personality wise, but I really hope, and I think most St. Louis Blues fans hope that he might start on that third line center and work his way up to the second. and be, you know, our unsung hero that's going to kind of rise to there. So I went Neville Longbottom
Oh, that's a good
because
one.
he kind of helps defeat Voldemort in the
He
end.
does.
So
He is pretty pivotal.
Right.
And he is pathetic in the early part of
Yeah.
that series. And he really does age into himself quite nicely. So
Oh,
that's
yep.
a good one. I like that. I like that. So the next guy I had on my list was Matthew Joseph. And I think you should go on this one.
All right, let me find where I wrote him down at. Okay, I was like, I know I wrote him down. All right, so from what I think I remember seeing online is Matthew Joseph is kind of the fun guy. I mean, he's a good hockey player, but I think he's also a good locker room guy, and pretty funny when it comes to just being around there.
Team culture
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
And so I went with the funniest, maybe not the funniest, because Deadpool might be the funniest superhero that I can think of. But I went with Peter Parker because he's kind of a comic while
Nice.
he's in
Okay.
his battles.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
I had him for somebody, and then my too many superheroes rule came in,
You're like, I
so I
have to
ended
get
up
rid of
removing it. But I could definitely see that as Peter Parker. So I also went in the superhero genre, and I went with kind of like you're saying. He's not the main guy, you know. Like he's definitely a really dependable sidekick. He's just there for good vibes, maybe a little comedic relief, kind of a little scrappy underdog. So I went with Robin, Batman
Oh,
sidekick,
okay.
Robin.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, he's going to be a third liner or healthy scratch.
Yeah,
So,
right.
kind
He's
of
not really
the
gonna
backup
right.
guy,
He's not
yeah.
gonna be in every movie. We're
Right.
not really gonna focus on him a
Uh-huh.
lot, but
But
yeah,
he might come in and do
he's
some
a
good
fun
things.
dude to hang around. Yeah, a fun dude to have around. So then next on my list is Alexei Toropchenko. And kind of staying on theme in the Batman universe, I picked a Batman villain that's like known to be massive and imposing and it just has this huge physical presence and is just relentless and relentless all the time. And so I went with Bane from The Dark Knight Rises.
It's that when you started saying it, I was like, yeah, I think it's going Bane.
Yeah.
I think he's going Bane. I just want to point out now that we've had another. That's another Russian, and you've gone with essentially two murderers.
To be fair, a lot of the people on this list have
Or
probably
murderers,
killed
yeah.
or attempted to kill someone.
All right, I wanted to give Toropchenko some positive vibes, but Toropchenko's MO is he's big, he's physical, he works hard, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm gonna guess that he's hairy, and so that's why I went with Chewbacca.
Nice. Nice. I like that one. That one makes a lot of sense too. It does.
Torpo is Victor Drago from Rocky. His face, like I could see that.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Very true. That would have been fun. I didn't really think about that, but and that's the whole Russian thing too.
Yep.
Yeah. Next on my list is Nick Bukestad. I believe is how that's pronounced.
My turn.
You go first on this one.
All right, so didn't know much about Bukestad, but I
Same.
know he's been, around the block for a while.
Mhm.
So I kind of just assumed veteran, calming presence, but I also know that he is a massive dude. Like I think he's like 6'5" or something huge. So when I was thinking of huge people that are also just wise and whatever, I went with Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's a great pull. That's a good one. Who's he throwing out of the house all the time now? I have to wonder.
Probably Jordan Cairo.
Probably Jordan Cairo. Well, I have to change that to DJ Jazzy Jeff or whatever that guy's name is. Good one. That's a good one for sure. So I kind of went in a different direction because yes, Bukestad is huge and I know that. So I decided to pick a very small character because when I looked into him, he was often described as like hardworking, steady, and he just seems like when you're gonna have a good competitive hockey team, you need your stars, your Thomases, what we hope Snuggerud will be, Kyrou, whatever. but you have to have those like supporting players to really round out your team, and so that you have that depth. You know what I mean? And it seemed like he was a guy like that. And so as far as just like essential support, but without a lot of flash and a lot of credit or whatever. So I picked Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings
Okay.
for
I-
Nick Bukestad.
I have
So
him on
I
here as
picked
well somewhere.
The Hobbit
The-
for
yep.
the big huge guy.
Right. But also the biggest of the hobbits.
He is.
So-
He is the biggest of the
Yeah.
hobbits for sure. And it's just like really an unsung hero, you know? Frodo gets all the credit
Yeah.
and everybody talks about him.
And he's
but
the one that can't
who's
keep his
cooking
finger out of the ring.
breakfast every day? You know what I'm saying?
All right. That's a good one. Samwise is good.
Yeah. So next on the list is Oscar Sundquist. And so I picked you just want a guy that's like tough. He's not, again, another guy that's not flashy. It feels like we have a lot of guys on this team that are like that. Not, but quiet, tough, efficient. He's going to get the job for you. And this character is also, let's say, hard on the eyes. The character is Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad. I don't know if you've ever seen Breaking
I don't know
Bad.
why I haven't seen Breaking Bad, but no, I have.
It's a
not
good
seen
show,
it.
and this guy is really cool on the show. He's like a great fixer. Like you got a problem, he's gonna come in and clean it up, like whatever that problem may be. But man, is that guy tough to look at for sure, for sure. So high definition TVs did not do him any favors at all.
Needed
So
the
that's
box TV still.
yeah. So that's why I went with Mike Ehrmantraut.
All right. I went with someone that also is just really good at getting the job done. Probably has a peculiar way of doing it sometimes. And I'm assuming that with Oscar Sundquist's long, crazy hair, even though it's not very good to look at, I'm sure he, takes care of it meticulously, which I know this man does with not only his hair, but also his amazing mustache. And so I went with Ron Swanson.
That's a good one. That's good. Yeah, I can absolutely see it. I can absolutely see it. I don't know. Ron would never be caught dead with hair that long, though. There's
No, not yeah.
He would never. But
I kind of just went like he's got the perfect mustache and
yeah, he just
so,
a
I
very
don't know.
distinct look.
Yeah.
that fits
Yeah.
him. Yeah. You always have to. It always has to have something to do with how Sonny looks. That has when you do
Right,
a
it's gotta be a
comparison
part of
that,
it.
That it does. So next on my list is Nathan Walker.
Nathan Walker, small, undersized, and kind of like a walk-on.
We're
right?
gonna
Like-
have the same thing. here.
Really?
Yeah, I think we have the
So,
same thing.
I went with a walk-on. So I went with Rudy.
I also went with Rudy Rudiger.
Oh,
Rudy.
yeah!
It just
We've done
makes
it!
absolute sense. It just makes so much sense. That's exactly who he is Rudy,
That's 2 years in a row that we've
we
nailed
did nail
Nathan
one.
Walker.
Yeah. Oh man.
Shit, we got whatever we do next year, we got to make sure we get Nathan Walker correct.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to think about what we do next year, just so that we know there's like an obvious one.
We got to have something obvious for Nathan Walker. And that's not even Australian. Like, we didn't even...
No, I really
We know
did try to
Australian.
avoid too much they're Russian, so I have to pick a Russian character. I was
Right.
trying to think about it a little differently than that, but kind of because I thought then we would be different. But I guess the Rudy thing was just too perfect for Nathan Walker. Next up is Alexander Tessier.
You want me?
No, I'll go on this one.
All right.
So it's another guy kind of like Joseph. He's not always going to be in the lineup, but sometimes when you do bring him in the lineup, he could do some cool stuff. He's got a pretty narrow skill set, like he's not like a super well-rounded player. So I went with Hawkeye from all the Marvel superhero movies.
Okay.
'Cause he's not in all the movies. Very narrow skill set. Like the dude's only got like one pardon the pun, but arrow in his quiver there. But, so yeah. But once in a while, when you need it, he can do some cool stuff.
All right. I kind of went with the same sort of thought process of I went with like another superhero, but a secondary superhero, one who can kind of fit in when the top guys aren't working very well. This superhero does actually take over a top spot, but we're just going to assume that Texier doesn't do that. So I went with Sam Wilson, specifically Sam Wilson as the Falcon and not as Captain
Not
America.
as Captain America.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of a nice backup, whatever. Like
Right.
kind of the same. We're thinking along the
Yeah.
same lines there for sure. He's like a second tier guy.
Yeah.
I tried to keep these positive too, because my first draft was a lot more, not a lot more negative, but there was definitely more negatives
Just like,
sprinkled in
this
there.
guy sucks, so I
was like, I'm getting older, and I don't want to be one of those cranky old dudes who complains about everything. So I was like, let's be happy. Let's bring positivity to this exercise. Let's have a good time. There'll be plenty of time in December or January when we're on like a 6-game losing streak. I'll be negative.
then
then.
we can
Before the
we can hate
season,
people.
we nothing but hope right
You're
now.
not on get off my lawn yet.
Not
there
yet. Not yet. Although they do ride across with their little mopeds. I don't understand.
Right. We did get a comment here from Matt. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen. What's going on in here?" And Matt, if you want the true answer, we're just making shit up. We have no idea what we're doing, but it's fun. So stick around for a while. Also, it's probably a good time because I don't know how long we're in on this right now. How long are we in on this?
That is,
Oh, it's been 46 minutes. Probably
Okay.
a good time to shout out the sponsors again. So make sure you guys are getting your pumpkin spice lattes. Or I'm going to get an iced mocha tomorrow morning from Scooters because I'm out of coffee at my house. So I have to get coffee at Scooters. So I'll be going to Scooters tomorrow for
it's
that.
like running out of toilet paper. You should never let that happen.
I went to Walmart today too, and I forgot to get coffee. I was like, damn it.
That really is on you then.
Yeah. So then I'm like, oh, well, I'll just go to Scooters. So we're good.
Fair enough.
So make sure you guys check out Scooter, specifically the one in Highland or in Collinsville, but you can check out any of the other locations in the St. Louis area. Also check out Hughes Custom Design. They make custom wood and hand painted signs. You can find them on Facebook. They got all sorts of things. I got to talk to him and see if he's going to have any new blues designs. So I'm sure he's going to change the colors, obviously, to match our colors now. Check out All American Sportswear or All American Hat Co. All American Hat Co. and All American Sportswear are both on Facebook or Instagram. They're mostly active on Instagram, but lots of promos. You can get your hat done however you want, embroidered, leather, acrylic. I don't know all of them, but any design, anything you want, they're really good to work with. And then I did want to shout out now that Matt's here. I shared it on Facebook earlier today, but Matt's house caught on fire on Saturday, and I posted the video that Matt actually sent to me. And the whole main floor of his house is pretty much destroyed. Luckily, he has the coolest St. Louis Blues basement, and that is still good to go. So thankful that Matt's St. Louis Blues basement is good to go. But I did share a link that you guys could donate either money or gift cards, or I think they have an Amazon list of just things they need immediately, because I'm sure everybody knows that working with insurance companies after something like this is never fun, and it never goes quick. So if you guys want to find that link to kind of help Matt, that would be awesome. All right, let's get back to the fun.
Okay.
Where were we?
So we are on Milan Lucic.
Okay, so I didn't write anything down for this one, but I already knew who I was going to go with because I don't really know much about Milan, and I didn't study him well, but I know he's a big dude, power forward type. I do believe he was in the player assistance program for something, and I don't think he's played, because I remember there was people making fun of us because we have him, and then we picked up Logan Mayu, and he was also, didn't want to get drafted in the first round because he had some off the ice issues.
Right.
So people were like, what are you guys doing, taking all these people? And hilariously enough, Matt just put it in here, Lucic's Hulk. And that's my guy. That's who I was going with. So yeah, I'm going with Hulk.
I considered that. I definitely thought about Hulk. And then I started to think about it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go all in on this Lucic thing. I think this year. I think he's gonna come in and he's gonna be fucking amazing. Like, I think he's going to come in and play incredible, lights out. So I picked a guy who was out of the game for a while, and then some people messed around, and they came in and they killed his dog. And they pulled him back out of retirement. And
Killed
now
his dog,
he's just going to destroy everyone and everything. Milan Lucic is John Wick. Is John Wick this year. You guys watch.
Don't touch me, Milan
It
Lucic's
is
dog.
going to be, the whole league is going to rue the day they ever let us, we ever made him try out,
Yeah.
you know?
If you even get close to Barkley, I think that's our dog's name, right? The Blues
Oh,
dog.
but yeah.
Get close to him. Lucic
It's
will-
over.
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
setting you Lucic on you.
So, next guy on my list is Cam Fowler. And, man, Fowler, I just cannot say enough how much I really did enjoy him being part of the team. He just seemed to come in and fit the team so seamlessly. And it was like bringing him in made all the other pieces of our defense just kind of fall into place. You know what I mean? And so I went with a guy, and he's so calm. He's cool. He's collected, like steady, is not going to get rattled ever. Just very chill. So I picked Jeff Lebowski, a.k.a. The Dude from The Big Lebowski. That's like one of my favorite movies. I love that movie.
The dude.
The Dude. The Dude abides.
All right. I went, Cam Fowler coming over, got a career year as soon as we got him, but is on the older side, but still playing top-notch hockey, being on the first line paired with Parayko. But I also kind of see him as a leader and someone who's going to really help shape Broberg to turn into, hopefully, the stud that we kind of want. So to kind of preface this, I almost went Anakin Skywalker for Philip Broberg.
Okay.
But I didn't. I decided to switch it up, but I still stuck with Obi-Wan Kenobi for Cam Fowler.
Nice.
So,
I like it. That is a good one. That is a really good one for sure. I'll be honest, I was just trying to get the dude in
You
here
just
somewhere.
didn't find a way.
I was like, I just had to find a way to get him in there. So I do kind of like yours a little more. I had to, on a list like this, I had to have the dude somewhere. So next one on the list is Colton Parayko.
All right. I've had a couple on here that I really enjoyed, but this one I think it might be one of my favorites. Colton Parayko, just massive human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not as strong sometimes on the ice as we want him to be. So he's a little more gentle, but he can be stronger and kind of physical when he needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that was Sully from Monsters Inc.
Oh, okay. Nice. I see it. I think we thought about this exactly the same way. He's a big, physically powerful guy. He's really good protector, defends the net really well. But he's kind of a gentle giant. You know what I mean? He doesn't really play with that edge or that fierceness that I think all of us kind of hoped he would. I think Blues fans have kind of figured out that, just have come to realize that's just not how he's going to play as much as we all would have liked that. So so for a gentle giant who's really powerful and a really good, reliable protector, I went with Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
I liked that one. That was like the second or third one I came up with.
You're like, easy. Got it.
Nailed it right there. Next on the list is Philip Broberg. So for this one, I tried to think about really young people, but have already sort of shown a maturity past their years at times, and on multiple occasions has just absolutely embarrassed full-grown men. So I went with Kevin McAllister from Home Alone as Philip Broberg.
Yes, just absolutely embarrassed, folks. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, I went with a young star that it can be pretty flashy. I think back to the sauce assist he had at the very beginning of last year before he got hurt to Jake Neighbors. I was like, damn, that was a great pass. And so I kind of see some flash in him and a lot of young potential, but kind of getting thrust into the spotlight super early in his career, whether it was with Edmonton, in the playoffs, or just now with us, started already top 4 defense after he's 23, 24.
Yeah.
And so I thought about, a captain of the Enterprise that got thrown into the captain's seat pretty early in his career, and that would be Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. I haven't watched Star Trek too much. I obviously know who you're talking about.
Right.
That's the Shatner one, right?
Any of them, I think, really is.
Are they all Captain Kirk? I thought the one with the bald-headed dude who plays Professor X. I thought he was something different.
There was a young one that had, like a newer one that was Captain Kirk as well.
Oh yeah, I forget what his name was.
I don't remember what the actor's name is. That
It's a Chris. It's one of the many.
Yeah, I don't know. That narrows it
Whatever.
down.
Anyway, doesn't. No, exactly right. Nice. I like it. So next on the list, I have Justin Falk.
All right.
I'm curious to see what you had, because I had kind of a hard time with this one. I think this one and Texier was a hard one to come up with. But yeah, I had trouble with this one.
So
I had trouble staying positive.
Yeah,
on
right.
This one, I should say.
So going back to Parayko, we talked about how, you always wanted him to be big, tough, scary, like a Chris Pronger type, and we've kind of learned that that's not the player we're going to get out of him.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a little easier on Justin Falk because I've realized, we're not going to get the offense out of him anymore. It's just not going to come.
Yeah.
But his defense, despite the times that he just turns the puck over for absolutely no reason, his defensive numbers are actually pretty decent. At least his advanced numbers were pretty good. And so as far as just someone kind of being dependable in the back, I went with Coach Beard from Ted Lasso.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, it was Chris. Chris Pine was Captain Kirk.
That's right. I knew it was
Thanks,
one.
Matt.
There's like a
Yeah,
gajillion
right.
Chris's that were in all those kinds of movies. Okay. I see where you. So I
do know Justin Falk is the person to hate, though, on the teams now.
I had a few different options. At one point, I had Captain America on there.
Oh.
But I thought that might be a little much. I'm not sure that he deserves all that anymore. But he is skilled. He's crafty. He still is. He's not going to give us that crazy offense that he was famous for right before we traded for him. But he still is capable of doing some pretty dazzling, amazing stuff. But as you said, it can be a little unpredictable, and he might turn on you. He might turn that puck over. You're never totally sure you can trust him. So I went with Loki from all the Marvel movies.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You don't know really what whose team
That's
he's on.
right. I mean, you're just like, I'm pretty sure he's on my side right now.
Right.
But it also, you always are a little part of you that's a little worried. Next on the list, I have Tyler Tucker. And so for this one, I just thought about, I know that Tucker is not the biggest guy out there, but he's still not a guy I think you really want to mess with or you really want to take lightly. Because if you piss him off, he might end up shooting you in the foot or maybe even beating you to death. So I went from Tommy from Goodfellas.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I've not seen that one.
You got to check that
I gotta
out.
watch.
That's a good one.
Got a lot of TV shows and movies to watch.
Goodfellas is a classic. But yes, that's what I went with. Also a murderer.
Oh, there you go.
Multiple
There's lots of murderers.
savage murderer.
All right, my guy's not a murderer. But I went with, Tyler Tucker just being a big presence at the back line, not afraid to, hit people. But I do think Tyler Tucker is kind of goofy. I think he looks exactly like, God, what's the comedian's name? Shoot. How can I not think of this? Oh, my God. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea what I'm sorry, man. I can't help
like,
on this
help
one.
me.
I'm not sure. A comedian.
He does a really good Trump impersonation. and he's I don't know, whatever. But I kind of went with the goofy but effective kind of idea, but also with the big. And Tyler, I'm sure, is a smart person, but just that stop. Shane Gillis. Thank you, Matt. Shane Gillis is who I was going with. So I went with Kevin from The Office for Tyler Tucker.
I just think about him spilling the giant pot. Yes. It's like it's probably the thing I do best. It just spills it all over the place. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, but that stuff. I find that stuff funnier and funnier the older I get, I guess. Man, that's kind of harsh to Tyler Tucker, though, for sure. So next on my list, I have Logan Mayu. Is that how it's?
Mayu is what I've been told. Yes.
Okay.
Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. Logan Mayu, very talented player. Gets picked in his draft right like at the very end of the draft, but had off ice issues, and so people are saying he could have been like a top 5 pick. NHL or AHL All-Star last 2 seasons, so he's got the talent, but he needs to kind of prove himself on the big stage. So thinking of proving himself on the big stage and having some off ice issues, I went with Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso.
Nice. Okay. I see what you're watching a lot of. I get you that Apple TV subscription is paying off right there.
Star Wars and soccer. I mean.
Jamie Tart. Man, they do good and good chance over there and for their football over there. We don't do that well over there. That's something we need to figure out how to do with their little chants and songs.
I get to watch. I watch videos of it sometimes, and some of the chants are like, even when they're losing, they're really good at talking shit to the other teams. They're like, "You've only scored 4. You've only scored 4."
But we have none.
Yeah,
right. So I kind of went with a guy that was initially at the very beginning of this movie considered. I think everybody was kind of afraid of him, kind of like you were saying. But he's big guy, big attitude. But I think he really is a team player under the surface, and I think that this guy's really going to prove himself to be a vital part of the team. So I went with Dean Portman from the Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
The guy with the big slap shot from the Mighty Ducks.
Is that the knuckle pucker?
No, that's a different guy.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Dean Portman's got the like crazy slap shot that like breaks the glass and like players dive out of the way. Like the goalie just dives out of the way because he's just not even.
All right, that'll work. And Mayu's supposed to be on the power play, so he's supposed to be an offensive threat.
There we go. And that's Portman was absolutely the point man on the power play for the Mighty Ducks.
There we go.
That's how. God, what's the coach's name? Bombay. That's how Gordon Bombay drew it up on the Mighty Ducks. The next player I have is Jordan Binnington, and I want you go first on this one. I want to see what you had.
So Jordan Binnington, I think, is somebody who kind of needs chaos to be good. I think, like, honestly, the more shots he faces, the better he is. So he needs kind of that just, throw me into the fire and I'll be good. But he also, can get ticked off very easily. And a person that I think is, kind of the same way, just can take out anyone, whoever they needs, but gets pissed off easily because they took his dog, is John Wick.
You went with John Wick? Nice. Oh yeah. I could definitely see it. So I actually had the dude for Jordan Binnington for a while because of his whole, do I look nervous thing back in the day. But I was like, he's got a little too much fire and personality to be like this chill stoner dude like the Big Lebowski is. But I went with a guy from Pulp Fiction. And simply because, and it says so on this character's wallet, I went with Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction because he's a bad motherfucker. And so is Jordan Binnington.
There we go. I actually had a buddy of mine, Mark, sent me a message today. They released, I guess, the top goalies or the top 10 goalie overalls in the new NHL game, and Jordan Binnington was not on the list. And he was like, "Why is Jordan Binnington always getting
criminally underrated?"
Yeah.
Just like that performance in that movie. Jules Winfield is an iconic movie character. It's amazing. So then last on my list is Joel Hofer.
All right, I went with the loyal, strong, steady 1B character. Doesn't get the name recognition of the big guy, but still people know of him. And so that's why I went with Samwise Gamgee.
Nice. I can see. Like, so does that make? So do you have to have Binnington as Frodo?
Frodo.
Then? Is that how that goes? Binnington is a little moody, like Frodo is in those movies. So I could see making that connection too. When I was thinking about Joel Hofer, I mean, this is a young guy still kind of learning how to become that number one goalie, and trying to develop his confidence and his skills, and could be a great goalie, or in this case, a great king one day. So I picked Simba from The Lion King for Joel Hofer.
Simba. Well, good. So we had an animated car in this, and now we have an animated lion.
Absolutely.
We covered all the bases.
I did get there for one.
All right.
And that's all I had.
Yeah, that's everybody. We covered them all, I think. That was fun. That was a good one. I think
that was better than the beers. I felt more confident in some of these like comparisons than I did about the beer ones.
Well, and it's because at least all the people I picked, like I've watched, like I've seen the movies or I've seen the TV shows, and same with you. Like when we did the beer, I haven't had all of the beer.
Oh, I had, yeah, no, I was like, because I think I strayed away from the like Russian characters for Russians and Australians for Australia, because I did that so much with the beer. I was just like, oh, whatever, this dude's Swedish, so let's try to look up Swedish beers, and then I'm trying to read words that have like 6 consonants in a row and no vowels. I was just like,
and all the little doohickeys
yeah,
above the letters.
Like, this looks like
these say.
advanced trigonometry, not like the written language.
Right. All right. Well, that's all we have. Next week, I promise we will talk actual Blues hockey, and we'll kind of see what's going on. I probably should have looked up at when camp starts, but I know there is hockey this month. So it is September 1st, and there is hockey coming up by the end of this month. We will have preseason games. So
we have the very first preseason game, right? I think we do.
Oh, we're playing in like the very, very first one?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds cool. Didn't we? We played in the very first game of the regular season. Well, they had the
global, whatever. Yeah,
but on day one of actual hockey, we had the first game. Because I remember our game started at 3:00 in Seattle. And I was like, dude, it's like noon there. How are they starting?
This is weird.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see, how this goes. We'll talk some real hockey. We still have some fun stuff coming up. So Libby and Emily will be returning for the Blues Hot or Not in a couple weeks once the roster actually gets narrowed down and we see if Dvorsky gets in or if Snuggerud maybe needs to get sent down because he's not ready, whatever, or Logan Mailloux maybe gets sent down. I don't know.
Are we talking
get the
about
roster lined up?
They're not ready for the Blues NHL roster, or they're not ready for Hot or Not?
Not ready for the roster. They have to go down to. Yeah, maybe we need to check their ages.
I wasn't sure if there was a qualifying process for being included in the Hot or Not options.
I guess if somehow we get like a 17-year-old on the team, we'll have to disqualify them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not touching that. That's
all right. Seth, anything else for today?
No, I'm super excited about this team. I'm super excited to see Snuggerud, how Broberg, Holloway, see how these young guys continue to mature and see if, they can all take these next steps. And because it's not out of the realm of possibility that we're a fringe contender. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to be like the overwhelming favorite ever. But if all of our guys, with good health, which every team needs, and a lot of these young guys step up, I think we could be a really good team and make some noise, and I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, it's nice to not be, the team that's like, oh, maybe they'll make the playoffs, maybe we'll get a top 5 pick. Like, not knowing that. Now it seems to be the rebuild's over.
Yeah,
It's time for us to even just like be a shoe-in for the wild card. But I think realistically, the goal is one of the top 3 spots in the Central.
I think so. I think if we don't make the playoffs, that would probably be a disappointment for this year.
Right.
Again, you have to take into consideration any injuries that might happen, but yeah, I think you're right. I think that's where we are. Let's go win some hockey games.
Let's go watch some hockey games.
Yes,
let's just
absolutely.
get there first. All right. That's it for the first episode of season 4, episode 127 overall. Check out Scooters. Go get your signs from Hughes Custom Design. Check out All American Sportswear, All American Hat Co. Happy birthday, Seth.
Thank you.
And Seth, give me a big "Let's Go Blues," and we'll get out of here.
Let's go Blues!
All right. See you, everybody.